the choice that changed the future. For 3 centuries, the galaxy had lived under a fragile peace. The war was over. The ancient empires had rebuilt their worlds. Trade routes connected thousands of civilizations. Yet one question continued to haunt every council meeting, every academy lecture, and every military strategy session. Why had humanity made that choice? The decision seemed impossible even now. No species in galactic history had ever sacrificed so much for strangers. And yet, humanity had done exactly that. The archives contained millions of recordings from the final days of the war. Every civilization knew the story. Humanity had possessed enough power to dominate the galaxy forever. No one could have stopped them, no fleet, no empire, no alliance. Victory belonged entirely to Earth. And that was exactly why their decision terrified everyone. After the final battle, Earth's commanders received countless recommendations. Military leaders demanded permanent control. Strategists argued that humanity should establish a galactic empire. Many believed it was the only way to prevent future wars. The logic was simple. If humanity ruled everyone, peace would be guaranteed. No rival could ever rise again. No threat could challenge Earth. The future seemed obvious. But humanity refused. The announcement stunned the galaxy. Earth would not become emperor. Earth would not occupy foreign worlds. Earth would not demand tribute. Earth would not enslave defeated enemies. Instead, humanity proposed something nobody expected. A partnership, equal rights for every civilization, even former enemies. Even those who had attacked Earth. The Council thought it was madness. Human leaders believed fear could never build a lasting future. Only trust could. Instead of creating an empire, they created schools. Instead of building occupation fleets, they built hospitals. Instead of demanding resources, they shared technology. Slowly, impossible things began to happen. Former enemies became allies. Ancient rivals became trading partners. Entire sectors transformed. For the first time in galactic history, civilizations began working together voluntarily, not because they were forced. Not because they feared punishment, because they wanted to. Humanity had proven that cooperation could be stronger than conquest. And the results exceeded every prediction. Prosperity spread faster than any empire could have achieved. Generations later, historians reached a remarkable conclusion. Humanity's greatest achievement was not winning the war. It was what they did after victory. Any civilization could destroy an enemy. Very few could forgive one. That required a different kind of strength. A strength the galaxy had never witnessed before. Every year, representatives from thousands of worlds gathered at the memorial not to celebrate victory, but to remember sacrifice. The monument carried no names of conquerors, only names of those who chose peace over revenge. Humanity insisted that future generations remember the cost of war. And they listened. Centuries passed. The galaxy grew stronger than ever before. New discoveries transformed science. New friendships connected distant civilizations. Entire regions once consumed by conflict became centers of innovation and culture. And all of it could be traced back to a single decision, a single choice. A choice made by humanity. That is why the galaxy fears humanity. Not because humans are stronger, not because humans possess greater weapons, not because humans won the war. The galaxy fears humanity because humans proved something extraordinary. When given absolute power, they chose restraint. When offered domination, they chose partnership. When given every reason to seek revenge, they chose hope. And that single choice changed the future forever. Thank you for watching. For the next epic HFY story, stay with Irongeist HFY and subscribe for more adventures among the stars. For centuries, the galaxy searched for an answer. Why were humans different? Every civilization had strengths. Some possessed superior intelligence, others mastered advanced technology. Many lived longer than humans could ever imagine. Yet, when history examined the greatest turning points of the galaxy, humanity appeared again and again, The question became impossible to ignore: what secret existed inside human nature? The researchers studied everything: human biology, human psychology, human history, human culture. At first, they expected to find a hidden genetic advantage. Perhaps humans possessed unique intelligence. Perhaps their brains functioned differently. But the evidence revealed something surprising. Humans were not naturally superior. In many ways, they were remarkably ordinary. And that made the mystery even greater. Then, researchers noticed a pattern. Throughout history, humans repeatedly entered situations that seemed impossible. They crossed oceans without knowing what existed beyond the horizon. They climbed mountains others considered unclimbable. They ventured into deserts, jungles, and frozen wastelands. Again and again, humans moved toward uncertainty instead of away from it. Most species avoided danger. Humans investigated it. That same behavior continued after humanity reached space. When other civilizations encountered unknown phenomena, they often waited. Humans volunteered. When mysterious signals appeared beyond explored territory, human ships answered first. When dangerous anomalies threatened entire sectors, human crews entered them first. The galaxy eventually realized something remarkable. Humans were driven by curiosity stronger than fear. The pattern appeared during crises as well. When disasters struck, most beings focused on survival. Humans focused on helping. Researchers found countless examples: burning ships, collapsing colonies, radiation leaks, planetary emergencies. Humans repeatedly risked their own lives to save complete strangers. The behavior seemed irrational, yet it happened over and over again. Eventually, alien psychologists reached an extraordinary conclusion. Humanity possessed a rare combination. Humans feared danger, but they acted anyway. They experienced doubt, but they moved forward anyway. They suffered losses, but they continued anyway. Courage, the researchers discovered, was not the absence of fear. It was action despite fear. And humans demonstrated that trait constantly. Another discovery followed. Humans rarely succeeded alone. They relied on cooperation. Families, friends, communities, teams, entire civilizations. Humanity's greatest strength was not the individual. It was their ability to unite around a shared purpose. Together, ordinary people achieved extraordinary things. The galaxy began adopting human methods. Collaboration replaced competition. Joint research projects accelerated discoveries. Shared resources eliminated shortages. Mutual trust reduced conflict. What started as a human philosophy slowly transformed galactic civilization itself. And the results exceeded every prediction. Young generations often asked a simple question: why are humans special? Veterans usually gave the same answer: humans are not special because they are perfect. Humans are special because they never stop trying, no matter how many times they fail. No matter how impossible the challenge appears, they rise again. And again. And again. In the end, the galaxy finally discovered humanity's secret. It was not hidden inside their technology. It was not hidden inside their weapons. It was not hidden inside their biology. The secret was far simpler. Humans believe tomorrow can be better than today, and because they believe it, they fight for it. For Italiano. Sacrifice for it. That is why the galaxy fears humanity. Because hope, when combined with determination, becomes one of the most powerful forces in the universe. To be continued. There was one day that every civilization in the galaxy remembered. A day when defeat seemed inevitable. A day when every calculation predicted humanity's destruction. A day when surrender would have been the logical choice, yet humanity refused. And that decision changed history forever. The threat emerged from beyond known space. An ancient force older than recorded history. Entire sectors vanished within weeks. Colonies stopped responding. Trade routes disappeared. Military fleets were destroyed without warning. The galaxy had never encountered an enemy this powerful. Panic spread faster than the invasion itself. As the enemy advanced, the Galactic Council gathered. Reports arrived every hour. More worlds lost, more fleets destroyed, more refugees fleeing toward the core systems. Military analysts reached a grim conclusion: victory was impossible. The best outcome was survival. Many civilizations immediately began negotiating surrender. Others prepared evacuation plans. Hope was disappearing. Then humanity spoke. Their message was short: "We will not surrender." The chamber fell silent. Many delegates believed humans were acting irrationally. Some accused them of risking everyone's future. Others called them reckless dreamers. But humanity remained firm, because they remembered something the galaxy had forgotten. Impossible odds do not guarantee defeat. Earth immediately began preparing. Factories worked day and night. Civilian industries converted into military production. Scientists abandoned personal projects to support defense efforts. Volunteers arrived by the millions. Nobody was forced. Nobody was ordered. People simply chose to help. Humanity understood that survival required unity. Something unexpected happened next. Inspired by humanity's determination, other civilizations reconsidered. One ally joined. Then another. Then another. Soon, fleets from dozens of worlds arrived, not because they expected victory, because they refused to face extinction alone. Human courage had become contagious. The final battle lasted longer than anyone predicted. Entire fleets were lost. Heroes emerged from every civilization. Ships continued fighting despite overwhelming odds. Worlds contributed everything they had. Every hour seemed like humanity's last. Yet the line never broke. The defenders refused to retreat. Near the end of the battle, a message spread through the Alliance fleet, a simple sentence: "If we stand together today, tomorrow still exists." The transmission reached thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, billions of civilians. It became a symbol of resistance, a reminder that surrender was not the only option. Against every prediction, the impossible happened. The invaders retreated. For the first time in history, they had been stopped, not by superior weapons, not by superior numbers, but by a united galaxy that refused to give up. The victory shocked historians for centuries. Many still struggled to explain it. Humanity understood the answer. People are stronger together than they are apart. That is why the galaxy fears humanity. Because humans refuse to surrender when logic says they should. Because they continue fighting when others lose hope. Because they inspire others to do the same. The day humanity refused to surrender became more than a historical event. It became a lesson. A lesson that echoes across the stars even now. As long as hope survives, defeat is never certain. To be continued. Many centuries after the Great War, a story began circulating throughout the galaxy. At first, historians dismissed it as a myth, a legend created by soldiers, a tale exaggerated over generations, but archived records eventually confirmed the truth. The story was real, and it centered around a single message. A message that would become one of the most famous transmissions in galactic history. The last message from Earth. The crisis began suddenly. Without warning, an unknown armada emerged from deep space. Their technology exceeded anything the galaxy had encountered. Entire defense lines collapsed within days. Communication networks were disrupted. Trade routes disappeared. Refugee fleets flooded nearby systems. Fear spread rapidly. Many believed the end had arrived. As the enemy advanced, the Galactic Council requested an emergency assessment. The results were devastating. Strategic analysts predicted total defeat. Military commanders warned that no fleet could stop the invasion. Several governments began preparing surrender agreements. Others considered abandoning entire regions of space. For the first time in generations, hope seemed lost. Earth received the same reports, the same projections, the same predictions. but humanity reacted differently. Human leaders acknowledged the danger. They understood the odds. They knew victory seemed impossible. Yet they also understood something else. Predictions are not destiny. The future remains unwritten until the final moment. As the war intensified, Earth committed nearly everything it possessed: ships, resources, technology, volunteers. Families watched loved ones depart for distant battlefields. Many knew they might never return, yet few hesitated, because they believed some things were worth protecting, even at great cost. Months later, the situation became critical. Alliance fleets were collapsing. Several key sectors had already fallen. Human forces suffered devastating losses. One by one, communication relays went silent. Entire fleets vanished from the network. Soon, even Earth itself became isolated. And then something extraordinary happened. Facing overwhelming odds, Earth transmitted one final message. Not a surrender, not a plea for mercy. Not a declaration of revenge. Instead, the message contained a simple promise. A promise addressed to every civilization in the galaxy. No matter what happens today, keep fighting tomorrow. The transmission lasted only a few seconds. Yet its impact would last forever. The message spread instantly from military outposts to refugee ships to distant colonies. Billions heard it. Many cried. Many stood in silence. Others found the courage to continue. For countless beings, that transmission arrived at exactly the moment they needed it most. Humanity had given them hope. Again. Inspired by Earth's final words, resistance intensified. Worlds that had considered surrender chose to fight. New alliances formed, old enemies cooperated, defensive lines stabilized. Slowly, momentum shifted. The invaders encountered something they had never faced before, a galaxy united by hope. And hope proved stronger than fear. The war eventually ended. The galaxy survived. Civilizations rebuilt. Generations passed. Yet Earth's final transmission was never forgotten. Even today, cadets, explorers, and leaders study those words. Because they reveal the reason the galaxy fears humanity. Humans understand that courage is not certainty. It is moving forward despite uncertainty. And sometimes, a single message filled with hope can change the fate of an entire galaxy. Long after the Great War ended, the galaxy entered a new era. Peace existed, trade flourished. Civilizations expanded farther into the stars than ever before. Yet beneath the surface, old tensions remained. Ancient rivalries had not disappeared. Many worlds still distrusted one another. Historians feared that another major conflict was only a matter of time. Then one human changed everything. The individual was not a soldier, not an admiral, not a scientist. He was a diplomat. Born on Earth decades after the war, he grew up hearing stories of sacrifice, courage, and cooperation. Those stories shaped his vision. He believed that peace was not something won once. It had to be protected every day. His first challenge seemed impossible. Two powerful civilizations stood on the edge of war. For centuries they had hated each other. Every negotiation had failed. Every agreement eventually collapsed. Military fleets gathered along their borders. Conflict appeared inevitable. Yet the human refused to accept defeat. Instead of speaking first, he listened. For weeks. Then months. He listened to fears, to grievances. To memories of past tragedies. Gradually, something changed. The leaders realized the human was not trying to win an argument. He was trying to understand. For many, it was the first time anyone had truly listened. Against all expectations, negotiations succeeded. The two civilizations signed a permanent peace accord. The galaxy was stunned. Experts who predicted failure could not explain it. The human offered a simple answer. You cannot build a future while fighting the past. Those words spread across countless worlds. Soon, governments began requesting his assistance. Conflict after conflict, crisis after crisis. Where others saw enemies, he saw potential allies. Where others saw division, he searched for common ground. Over the years, dozens of disputes ended peacefully, trade expanded, borders opened. Trust slowly grew. Eventually, the diplomat proposed an extraordinary idea. Perminotan impide. Not an alliance controlled by one species. A council where every civilization would possess an equal voice. Many believed the concept was impossible. Human history suggested otherwise. Humanity had always been strongest when working together. The proposal passed, slowly at first and then overwhelmingly. For the first time in history, thousands of civilizations agreed to cooperate under a shared framework. Trade disputes declined. Military conflicts became rare. Scientific discoveries accelerated. The galaxy entered an age unlike anything before. An age of unity. Years later, the diplomat was asked a question. What is humanity's greatest strength? Many expected him to mention courage, or determination, or resilience, but instead, he smiled and answered, "Our greatest strength is each other." The statement became legendary. When historians look back on that era, they remember many heroes, admirals, scientists, explorers. But they also remember one human diplomat. The individual who united worlds without firing a single shot. And that is why the galaxy fears humanity. Because humans possess a rare ability. The ability to transform strangers into allies, and allies into family. A power more enduring than any weapon ever created. The story is far from over. Humanity has united the galaxy, but an even greater challenge is waiting beyond the stars. Part 15, The Day Humanity Saved Its Greatest Enemy. Coming soon on Irongeist HFY. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Stay with us for the next chapter of humanity's greatest journey.